Welcome back to the garage. In this episode we are going to change the starter clutch. And as you guys can see, the motor is filthy. So what I'm going to do right now is off camera, I am going to get some WD-40 and a bunch of rags and a toothbrush, and I'm going to scour this thing to get it nice and clean so I don't have to worry about any dirt flowing inside the engine. Alright, so what you see so far is I took the reverse cable off. I got to clean that. I took the sprocket off. I got to clean that all up. You can see this is pretty filthy. This clip right here is loose. The guy I bought this off, he had another one he just purchased, and I think he took parts off this to make the other one complete. There was probably a chain cover, a sprocket cover on here, and he took it off because this is just dangling there. And you would think that over time it would have got lost, or at least wouldn't be clean right there. So I'm assuming he took some parts off this to make his other bike complete. Whatever, no big deal. You can see here it's starting to get clean, but for the amount of oil that's on here, this thing's leaking, this is probably leaking, but most likely it's just this. And if you look, you can see the O-ring is literally in multiple places sticking out from the cover. So that wasn't put back on properly. Somebody put in a new starter, obviously, but I'll get an O-ring for that, gasket for this, and a new starter. But I'm going to continue to clean this. I'm going to remove this right now. I'm going to show you guys how to do it, and I'm not even going to break away. How about that? So you need an impact driver and a small hammer, and you put this on there like that, put some tension against it, and you whack it. There we go. That's one loose. If you don't, you're probably never going to get these off. There we go. Now they're off. And you could still pretty much use this to get them off of there. This is the seal protector, but it's absolutely filthy. I want to clean it all up. It's tough to sell a bike covered in oil because people are going to think it's got all kinds of leaks and stuff, even if it doesn't. I know all these leaks, all this disaster right here is coming from this, so I'm going to fix it and no one will be the wiser. Alright guys, it's pretty clean now. I disconnected the stator because I'm going to pop it right off of there and put it on the bench and clean it. I disconnected the reverse sensor, or the neutral safety. My light just died. Everything is cleaned up. Did a really good job cleaning it. Still needs more cleaning, but I'll do the rest on the bench. Some of this is going to get cleaned up again, but for the most part it's pretty clean, and I need to get all this out of there. There's still plastic type kind of tray in here. I don't know what's holding that down. So I have to figure that out. But I want to try to clean it up as best I can. Alright, let me set this up and let's start removing these. Draining the oil right now, and this is that blue stuff, and I looked it up and it's Mobile 1 for diesels and cars and stuff. It's supposed to be really high-end oil. It is super clean. He just changed it when I bought it off him. I am going to pop a new filter in it, but I think I cleaned this pan up really good with brake clean and everything, so it's spotless. I think I'm going to put that in a container and I'm going to put it back in the bike. It's brand new. There's no sense in me putting new oil in. It's already got new oil. Wow. That boy is really on there. As you guys can see from this O-ring, it's in rough shape. Look at it. Oh my goodness. Let's pull this off of here, shall we? Look at that O-ring. Wow. Alright, let's see if we get any. Well, we do have some does look like a little bit of metallic in there. A lot of metallic. Oh wow. What is happening in there? Alright, let's keep going. We'll look at it on the bench. That is a left-handed thread, if anyone was wondering. And I basically have every single flywheel remover made. Alright, that's that way in. For some reason that's a left-handed thread. Alright, let's pop this guy off. Okay. Oh, it looks pretty good. I don't really feel anything that gives me any pause at all. Let me stick this down inside the engine here and see if I come up with any goodies. It's a good way of seeing if this engine blew up at one time. Nope, there is nothing on that, which is good. Now let's just look right here. Is there any metallic? Just a little bit dirty. No metallic. So I think the engine's in good shape, which is good to know. Alright, let's head over to the bench and take a look at what we got. Let's take a look at this thing first. I don't see any problems with that. Nothing looks worn out. Clean it up, put it back. The drum itself, the bearing feels good. This surface here feels okay. Does this bearing come out of there? It does not. This feels pretty good. I'll probably hit that with a little bit of sandpaper to smooth it out. Not a big deal. Stator looks good. We'll have to clean it up, but this looks good. This thing right here is pretty dirty. I think a lot of that fact that thing is chewed up in there is because this thing wasn't bottomed out, because it had the O-ring stuck in here and it was keeping it from bottoming out. It seems like it's spinning okay. It chewed this up a little bit in there, as you guys can see. This is the O-ring seal. I'll hit it with some sandpaper. Hopefully it'll be alright. If not, we'll use some Permatex on it or something. But we'll clean that up. Now for the culprit at hand here, let me take my puller off. You look down in here, you can see that these are massively flat spotted. So the starter clutch needs to be replaced. And I didn't order any parts because sometimes you need to replace this, and they sell them in kits, and I didn't want to have to buy a kit if I didn't need to. But this looks pretty good. So seems like all I need to do is just get the starter clutch itself, and I'll try to find one that has the gasket and the O-ring and new screws for this because you don't want to reuse the screws. And it looks to me like this screw is backed out, and it has. Look at that, it's backed out. So somebody replaced this once already, and I'll bet you right now that this thing is probably loose. I mean, look at that, that screw is literally backed out. Luckily it didn't do any damage to the stator. Wasn't far off from doing that, I'm sure. Alright, so let's work on getting that out of there and get the right Allen wrench. Already falling right out. So let's see what the rest of them are like. Supposed to put Loctite on these. And that one was loose. Well, that one was loose. Well, that was loose. And that one was tight. So there's only a couple that were tight. The rest were all loose. So that's one of our reasons why we were having problems. Let's take a look here. This is the one-way clutch. How does this look? I need to get a new one of these. Oh yeah, that thing is destroyed. It's all grooved out. So we need a new one of those, and definitely a new one of these. But the flywheel is good, which is awesome. Alright, I'm going to get on the internet and order up what I need. Alright, we have the new starter clutch. They came with new hardware. Gasket. Oh, I can get that out of there. Okay, with a new gasket and the O-ring for the cover. And this is the actual starter clutch itself. So I need to clean it up a little bit, but that's it. And if you look, you can see how worn out this one is. You can't really see it on the top, but you can definitely see it on the inside. These are all flat spotted. It's no good. So we got to clean this all up. We're going to use Loctite, and we're going to reassemble it into the stator. Flywheel. So that's where you got to be careful. I snapped one off. I got this kit right here. They're called Tandy Tough Test. I don't know. Anyway, these are what they call screw extractors, or damaged screw removers. And basically they're basically just, how do I say it? Left-handed drill that forces these out. So let's give it a shot here. And you got to go in reverse. There it is. They work pretty nice. All right, we're back assembled now. Now we got this guy here. Let's just clean this up real quick. Make sure that this is in good shape. Now I think I am going to hit that with a little bit of paper just to smooth it out. But for now I just want to see if this thing works. And it works really good. Nice and tight. But I think what I want to do is I want to smooth this out, and I want to put some oil in there. Alright, I jacked it up a little bit because oil is coming out of the lower part of the case, and I don't want that. So we're going to take a little bit of oil and we're going to put it down inside of this. All the way around. Put some oil in there. Slide this in. A little bit of oil down around that. I find it's easier to install it with the puller on it. You get a little bit more leverage. Alright, we're going to put a little bit of oil on this, just so it's pre-oiled. Slide this in. Put a little bit on this. And then we got a washer that goes in the front here. And we'll put a little bit of oil on that, just so it's wet. And we're going to slide this in. Alright, that looks like we're ready to go. Now I'm going to torque this up with my big wrench. And I'm just going to zap it a few times. I'm not going to do it on high. I'm going to do it on the second setting. And the starter clutch is working perfectly. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll get out of the way here. But you can see that it's working perfectly. So we're in good shape. Alright, let's get ready to put the cover back on. Now I'm going to install the gasket. Push it on there. I am not going to use RTV on this. I don't need to. I clean the surfaces up really good. And when you do that, you do not need RTV. Alright. Alright, we got this all cleaned up. Looks good. Clean up the gasket surface. Everything's nice and clean. I sanded in here to get some of the roughness out so the O-ring seat's nice. We should be good to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put RTV around this so it doesn't leak. Alright, I got some RTV in there. Now I'm just going to push this in so it seals. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit right around this rubber grommet right here. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because sometimes it will leak here. But I just want to make sure that I get a good seal. Alright, this is all ready to go on. I am going to put a little bit of lube around the starter. Now I never took the starter out. I just don't think I need to. It should be perfectly lined up. And I should be able to just slip this guy right on there. There we go. Just like I thought. Nice and easy. And it looks like we're on all the way around. So I'm going to stop putting the screws in this and start tightening it up. We have the reverse cable mount that's going to go in, which is right here. And let's make sure that everything is where it needs to be. Run the wires up here. That should be it. Alright, I'm going to tighten these in by hand, come back when I'm done. So now that all this is in here, you can check your starter clutch to make sure it's functioning properly by just spinning this. Spins one way, does not spin the other way. That's how you can check to see if it's installed properly. Alright, good to go. I am going to put this piece in, but first I just want to show you guys something real quick. There was only one washer, one of these precision spacer washers, when I took this apart. There's supposed to be two. There's supposed to be one on each side of this. and there was only one. You're never supposed to have a metal boss or a metal shoulder touching against the aluminum on any engine case or any cover without having one of these in between them. This one fits in here. As you can see, it goes right inside of there, but the other one was missing. So what I did was I went into my stash and I found one that was the same exact thickness. It's a little bit on the bigger side, but it will keep, I'll put it on here, it will keep from chewing up the face of that. Even though it's a little big, it'll be fine, it's not going to fall off. So that was missing, and I'm going to install it now. Okay, everything's installed now. I think what I want to do is just, now the wires are still off, so it's not going to start, but I just want to crank it over to see if everything sounds good. And that sounds absolutely perfect. All right, let's fire it up. Good to me. Sounds real good. All right. I like it. Show you guys one thing I did here. So I did buy this. Let me open it up. Show you. I bought this, which is a brand new ignition with the key and everything for this bike. Now there's nothing wrong with the ignition on the bike, so I didn't take it off. The only thing I bought it for was strictly for this nut. So I can mount the ignition. And you can see that that's an AutoCAD key, but it don't matter, it works. Anyhow, that's what I did. So I'll hang on to this, throw it in my stash, and someday when I get a bike where the ignition doesn't work properly, hopefully it'll have the nut and I'll have an ignition. Alright, I think we're in pretty good shape. I think we're just about done. Let's go and throw the seat on it. Alright, one thing that I wanted to point out, that I was missing the post stud for where it mounts into the seat. So I went into my bin of stuff, and this is actually an alignment pin for side cover, I think. I don't know for what, but and I found a washer and a screw. And I am just going to screw this into the tank here. Tighten it down. And that should work perfectly fine to hold the front of the seat down when I mount it. Alright, seat's on. Mounted in the back. And you can see the front. It's on it now. It's not peeling up like it was. So, good enough. It's all done. Doesn't look too bad. I'm not going to spend a lot of time cleaning this one up. I don't know if the money's in it for me to spend any more time on it, but we're going to try to flip it now, see what happens. She runs fantastic. Let's see if we'll start up for you. Turn the key on. Beautiful. That's it, another one finished. Quick couple videos here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna be on the lookout for some more ATV content. I don't know if I'm gonna find any, we'll see. It's getting tough to find these things at a reasonable price at the moment. Everybody still thinks it's 2002 and then they're trying to get big money for them. But anyways, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all that kind of thing. And we'll see you guys in the next video.